Morning, everybody, and welcome to the December 23rd, 2025 Board of County Commissioners meeting. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first thing we have on our agenda are approval of our minutes from the last meeting. Gentlemen, do you have any additions or corrections?
No.
All right.
I move to approve the proceedings of the Board of County Commissioners for Montezuma County held on Tuesday, December 16th, 2025 as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners, Montezuma County for December 16th, 2025. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, Planning Department. Miss Sherry Jane is already situated without crutches.
Yeah, she's been waiting an hour to do this. No, all we have today is to sign a Mylar for the Rolling Hills Estates Subdivision, which conveys real property from Lot 4A to Lot 4B, the Hurst Family Trust. So they have, their property goes to the road instead of just an easement.
Okay, roll them out.
See if you'd heard things that we'd done.
I know.
All right.
That's all planning has.
All right. Planning, that's all you have.
That's right.
I don't think we have, or I don't have any questions.
Okay, we'll let you move on.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, public comment. No? Yes? Okay, we do have one public comment. So the rules of decorum will be strictly enforced. Outbursts and interruptions from any person in the room, including shouting, clapping, booing, laughing, or other reactions to the proceedings are prohibited. Any comments from the public shall only be made to the persons who are residents of Montezuma County who have been recognized by the chair who are speaking into the microphone, and only after they have stated their name and address for the record. Each person will have 3 minutes to comment. No speaker may yield their time, part or all, to another speaker, and comments shall only be made to the board. No comments or questions shall be directed to staff or other members of the public. And with that, the chair recognizes Alan Mays.
Good morning. Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Alan Mays, 21693 County Road 21 in Lewis. We're getting ready for the holidays, so I'll first off say I hope everyone does have a good Christmas, and we go into it well. My comment is there are things out there, our country, our state are divided with a lot of different issues that we have. Even here in our county, we need to understand that not everyone in the county is 100% behind a subject, and so we do need to know that when we put something out there that we're going to have some pushback from one side or the other. Even myself, when I make a comment on a subject, I'll get a little feedback on it. But the NCA is what I'm talking about here for the Dolores River. We have some concerns of who is going to be controlling that NCA, and that's why there's a few people out there that don't think we should rush in. Well, I know the comment back is it's not going to be rushed into because it's been there for 20 plus years that it's been discussed. But I think the biggest concern is who is going to be the controlling committee when that NCA is passed. And I know that that committee won't be picked immediately, but it will be some folks that may not have the best interest of the people of Montezuma County or the people who the NCA is intended to benefit through recreation. Agriculture, our natural resources, and water are the important factor in Montezuma County. And the load is going to be big on the committee that will reduce our access and our best interest for the public lands that we already have on the Dolores River going downstream. But anyway, I just want to put it out there that there's a large number of people that aren't fully in favor of this. So when we push our congressman to do something, how long has he been aware of what's going on? He gets updated, but who's updating him? And so our other leaders in the state have to step up and give us more information. And I know the general feeling about social media is not good, but there are some messages out there that we do have to pay attention to. So anyway, thank you for your time, and have a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. All right, seeing no further public comment, I'll close the public comment session of this meeting, and we'll move right along to our consent agenda. In our consent agenda, we obviously discussed all of these items yesterday. And do we need to pull anything off, gentlemen, that we need to discuss further?
I don't think so. Gerald?
No.
Okay, well, with that, I would accept the motion.
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Ms. Frizzell, looks like we have a couple of liquor license, one a renewal and one a permit.
My name's Jerry Frizzell. I do the liquor license for Montezuma County, renewals and new special events. Today we have one for Southwest Colorado Livestock Association. They're going to be having one on 30100 Highway 160 in Cortez at the fairgrounds. And it is scheduled for February 14th, 2026 from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. I have the letter from Justin from the fairgrounds where he gives them permission to be able to hold this from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. on that day. And I have a letter from the sheriff saying that he will do the security for that night. And that's it for them.
Aye.
We just gotta have one.
I move to approve this liquor license permit for a special event for the Southwest Colorado Livestock Association for February the 14th from, what'd you say, time was 6 to 11 p.m. at the Montezuma County Fairgrounds.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the application for a special events permit for the Southwest Colorado Livestock Association to be held at 30100 Highway 160 Cortez for their evening of, what was it, 2/14?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. All right. That's all we had?
We have one more.
Okay.
One more, it's
Yeah.
a renewal for Love's Travel. So I have a liquor license renewal for Love's Travel Stop and Country Store Incorporated, located at 7006 Highway 160/491 in Cortez. I did get a letter from the sheriff stating that on January 10th, 2024, that the Love's submitted a application with a diagram which was not properly displayed where they have their liquor. The interior and exterior inspection of this business was conducted and confirmed the retail liquor location within the business and confirmed the permit area is indicated in the business floor diagram. They have fixed it since, what they did is they displayed their liquor wrong. Apparently this was not caught when they first opened up, but Steve Nallen wrote this letter on January 25th, 2023. But I just got it. Yeah, I didn't even see that part.
Mail's a little
2023? Did you
That's
say that?
January 25th, 2023 is when the letter's dated. And then they did a liquor license application on January 10th, 2024. But this was just sent to me. It might be a typo, that might be January 25th, 2024, when they
Pretty
did the
hard to
inspection.
submit legal documents into the record when there are typos on them.
Yeah,
I would
so I'll
actually
have
ask
to
that
talk
you
to
correct
Steve. I
that,
just now
or
looked at that,
find
so
out
that's
if it
probably
is,
be,
because
yeah.
having something almost 2 years in the rears is
Yeah, I do
pretty
have-
inadequate.
I do have one from the state showing that on, let me find it.
Yeah.
Okay, September 15th, 2025. I have one from the state showing that attached to the proposed stipulation agreement and order regarding allegations of violations of a Colorado Liquor Code by Love's Travel. It says that on August 5th, 2025, the Colorado Liquor Enforcement Division conducted a routine inspection of the premise license located at 7006 Highway 160/491. During the inspection, it was found that the alcohol beverages was being displayed immediately adjacent to soft drinks and bottled water, without placing the signature signage required under Regulation 47-950, parentheses B. The signage required under that regulation should be clearly visible to consumers and on any shelves, cooler shelves, or displays that contains alcohol beverages. Immediately next to soft drinks, fruit juices, bottled water, candy or toys, and must read, this products are alcohol beverages available for sale only to persons under age 21 and of older. So they have contacted Love's and have come to agreement, and they have got it fixed. They have changed where they are keeping their liquor. So I'm not sure This might have been in the one before, when they first got their thing. I might have grabbed it when I grabbed the file.
Okay.
So I think this one was when they first did the application. He did do an inspection back in '23. When they first opened up, they did the inspection. And then on January of '24, so this is when they did the application. So I grabbed this by accident. This
Okay.
should not have anything to do with this one.
Do you have a current letter from the sheriff?
The only we have right
I think I
now
grabbed
is,
the wrong one. I did get one from the sheriff, so,
Okay.
but he shows that they didn't have any violations because sometimes we don't, him and the state, he does the Montezuma County
Right.
local one.
so
And then
here,
the state.
here's what we're gonna do is we have time. This doesn't expire until 3/19
Yeah.
of '26. So let's just put this off until next week, grab the right letter, make
Yeah.
sure that we have the right information in front of us, and then we can approve this next week. So
Yeah,
let's just
I
put
yeah.
this, let's just move this to next week, Travis.
Yeah, I did. I just
don't-
grabbed the wrong
I don't wanna
letter.
have, I don't wanna have conflicting
Yeah.
documentation that's not correct. So,
Yeah, I grabbed the wrong letter. I do have one from him over there in their file, but I just grabbed the
Okay.
wrong one, so.
okay.
Okay, so
We'll
we'll
just-
continue this one next week.
We'll just put it on the agenda
Okay.
for next week.
That works.
All right, thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Any executive session today, Mr. Tarnowski?
No.
Okay, very good. Then I will go straight into our county attorney's report.
Commissioners, overall, I don't have too much new to update the board on. I'm still working on a lot of the same issues that I've been working on the last few weeks. Primarily, that's the Leaf Properties response that's due on January 9th. I did just want to let the board know, now some weeks or months ago, I think I made an update to the board about the long-running legal action involving the CO2 committee about the back payment of taxes. And I said, this should be the end of it, but it's possible that they could petition the Supreme Court of the United States to hear the case. So they have done that. It doesn't mean that the case will be accepted. My expectation would be that it would not be accepted. But this is the last possible thing they can do to try to, prove their side of the case, essentially. The county has really consistently prevailed through this whole litigation. And so we've got outside counsel working on this issue for us. So they're going to, continue to work on that. But I did just want to let the board know that that did happen. But I really don't expect there to be, any kind of really substantive developments on that front. Any questions about that?
Okay, Travis?
Commissioners, I have no report this week.
All right, Miss Kim?
I just want to wish everybody Merry Christmas.
Well, Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you all to all of our county employees. Commissioners report. Mr. Lindsay.
The only thing I have is, there's no city council meeting tonight, and they're meeting again next year, so I don't know if that's good or bad. But anyway, Merry Christmas to all of you out there and to all of our fellow workers here at Montezuma County. And that's the end of my report.
All right, Commissioner Copenhaver.
Do you want me to do this?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I wish everybody a Merry Christmas also and a prosperous New Year. Hopefully, things will keep progressing and we can get along better in this country. But to address a couple of issues that I think that's been a lot of social media content here lately with the NCA and the Dolores River. I think the biggest thing that people need to realize that when this river was named in the Wild and Scenic Rivers Act back in 74, 76, whenever that act was originally passed by Congress, The restrictions have been on that river ever since they studied it and found it suitable for wild and scenic designation. So it's been managed to maintain that character and outstanding remarkable values of that river ever since then. And basically for the last 50 years or however long that's been, it's been managed as that. Our federal agencies are mandated in that legislation to manage that so that none of those outstanding remarkable values go away. Even though it wasn't picked up and found to be wild and scenic, they still have to manage it to maintain that characteristics that are there. That's just in the legislation itself. So all those restrictions have been on this river for all these years. And there is no way to get that designation off of that river other than to legislate it off. So over the years, it has been decided to try to legislate it off there by putting an NCA on there as a compromise with the environmental groups to get this wild and scenic off of this river. For several different reasons. The wild and scenic has an actual reserved federal water right that comes with it if they would designate it as wild and scenic. But what was more concerning to us back in 2008 when we started this whole process was the fact that we were afraid they were going to put a monument right over top of that. And I think that that boundary would be a lot wider than the wild and scenic, and there'd be some other consequences to it also, because you have absolutely no say as to how a monument's going to be managed locally. So we decided, at that time, to try to go with an NCA in order to satisfy the environmental groups, but to get this wild and scenic designation off of the river. And there's a compromise. Not everybody was getting what they wanted, but people's got to understand, these restrictions have been on that river ever since that wild and scenic river designation was passed and put on there. It's been restricted all these years. The NCA is probably less restrictive than the wild and scenic is, that they have to manage it as a compromise. That's what we decided to come up with. The NCA, there's been talk that it was going to take in private ground. The NCA never took in any private ground. When it came to the private ground, it stopped, and it picked up on the other side of that private ground. The only thing that remained in the NCA was the stream bed itself. It was never going to take in any private ground. It was never intended to do that, and they don't, period. A national conservation area doesn't. And it doesn't come with any kind of a federal reserved water right or anything. So it's a compromise to get that off of there. We've got other issues just similar to this deal. When they did the Wilderness Act, all these wilderness study areas have been sitting here for all these years, and these agencies are mandated to manage it like those wilderness characteristics, why it was originally put in there, even though has never been designated as wilderness, it's still a wilderness study area. It's been sitting there for all these years, and they're mandated to manage it to maintain those values. So, and the only way you can get it off of there is to legislate that off of it. And it's what has to happen in order to get some of these designations off of this property. It needs to happen with a lot of these wilderness study areas also. As far as I'm concerned, they need to be put back into the regular public deal. But to get it done, these environmental groups are not going to let you do it. They're not going to let you legislate that off of there for nothing. There's got to be some way to work through this and get this done. And that's what we done as far as the NCA. We're trying to get that off of there. It's been on there long enough. We need to do something with it, because If you just leave it sitting there just like it is now, I'll guarantee you, somewhere down the road, probably not in this climate as far as our federal agencies right now, but it will be back again. So that's why things have happened that's down there, and I think the biggest thing is the water in our community. It's, in order to look out for it, it's what our intent was, to make sure we kept this water in our community here. I'll let it go with that.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But I'm going to go ahead and expand on it a little bit more because now it's my turn. So I agree with Commissioner Copenhaver. Everything that we do up here is not about jumping up and down like 800-pound gorillas wanting to get our way. There's a compromise in everything that we have to do and every decision that we make up here. I've made this statement before. We're going to make 50% of this room mad, and we're going to make 50% of this room happy. Well, that's just the way life is. I hate to say it, but it's a reality. So one of the things that we fight for in all of the state of Colorado was local control. By having an NCA, it does give us local control. We have 3 years to promulgate the rules ourselves, and we control it, not the federal agencies. That's one of the biggest factors that I see that is a benefit to this county of Montezuma. As Commissioner Copenhaver said, with the outstanding remarkable values, the fish have already been named down there. And with that, if they become on the endangered list, what do fish need to live? They need water. So they're going to turn that water down a federal project to keep those fish alive, which then takes away from our agricultural communities. So there are a lot of things that almost 2 decades of negotiations has happened that's a lot of work. Every group out there could point at something that they do not like, but it is a compromise. An example is way prior to me being here, I remember riding my motorcycle down where the N.M.P.M is right now. Canyon is the Ancient National Monument. Well, what can you do down there right now? We already have a monument in this community because of the bickering back and forth, and nobody could come up with a compromise. And guess what? We have a monument that continues to consume private ground, which takes it out of Montezuma County. It goes into the federal agency, and then we get PILT payments. We get SRS, which is not what we need. We do not need to give any more. We need local control. This gives us local control. The WSAs, as he stated, a wilderness study area is just that. But when the BLM themselves have stated, hey, it doesn't comply, it shouldn't be a wilderness area, it should be removed from the registry, right? Well, when I first started here in 2019, we had another legislator come down here saying, hey, we're going to make Menifee Mountain, yeah, I think it was Menifee, we want to push it now and make it a wilderness area. And we're like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Local control, again, we were able to stop it. So if this stuff doesn't happen through the legislation, through Congress, it is not going to stop. It is going to keep coming after us and keep coming after us. This is a compromise, and I know a lot of people don't like to compromise, but it is the way of the world. We're going to have to do something to figure it out. Otherwise, that Dolores River monument that we oppose also, don't think that threat is off the table, because it's not. Not under this administration, like Commissioner Copenhaver just stated, but it is not off the table. It will come back.
If I may.
Let me finish.
No, it's all right.
Oh, go
I thought
ahead.
he was done.
No, I'm not done. But go ahead.
A number of years ago, a lot of years ago, a gentleman made a statement that if you do not learn from history, you will repeat it. You are doomed to repeat it. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, this community fought and squabbled over the canyons of the ancient national monument designation. An NCA was proposed. We fought and squabbled, didn't want that. The next thing you know, we're looking at that national monument sitting out there causing us grief. Certain group of people came and said, you can go to Washington and fight this and get it removed. Well, we went to Washington, we fought, nothing happened, because of the administration was there that wasn't going to allow that to happen. we have an opportunity now not to repeat history here, because if we don't do this, this is my opinion, we're going to end up one of these days, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. There's going to be a change of administration back there. And with the ancients law back there, that they can proclaim this a monument, because there are petroglyphs out there that have been shown, we will have a Dolores River monument that will just corral a ton of acres and a lot of our water. And we can't live without the water here. We're short all the time anyway. So, I mean, we're elected to represent our constituency, and a lot of them don't want this, a lot of them want this, but we have decided that this is the best way to go, is with this compromise. Don't like it, but I think it will ensure the future of our water in that area. And that's I'm like Gerald, I'll quit.
And I will just go back to say that the biggest thing that we fight for is local control. We want to control our own destiny in our community, because we know it better than the state does, and we know it better than Washington does. So we will continue to fight for the NCA. We do support it. Again, are we making everybody happy because they don't understand the compromise? No, and I understand that and I get that. But looking out for the best part of the community, it is by far the best solution that we can come up with. And I'll stop with that. And then I'm going to go into my report. So I've had several calls in the last couple of weeks about the opening of the Maverick South. As we, the county commissioners, must have something to obviously control with that, because they've read it on Facebook or social media. Well, guess what? Fact check what you're even asking the question of. The county has done everything with Maverick. It is done. It now belongs to the right-of-way of the state of Colorado, and that's their jurisdiction. We will stay within our sidelines and stay on our side of the table. So it's within the state of Colorado and Maverick. It has nothing to do with the county of it being open. So just to make sure that clarification is out there. Another thing, I was at the Dolores board meeting, workshop last night. One of their biggest things, again, social media, because nobody will fact check their work. The Dolores Community Center is not for sale. So apparently it's been going around on social media that it is for sale. The Dolores Community Center is not for sale. We fight that all the time. As you guys in here know, our crusher's for sale. No, crusher's not for sale. So don't just be a keyboard warrior and just start typing rhetoric. Do some fact checking. And if you're getting all your information off of social media, then I can only do one thing, and that's to pray for you, because you are headed down a path of. All right. Did have a housing authority meeting last Thursday also. The director did have a couple of candidates interview for the position of the assistant director. That position has been filled, and now they will be from internal candidate. So there is now one position left to fill because she moved up. We will now be looking for a choice voucher specialist for the Montezuma County Housing Authority. So that is moving and going really, really well. We will be putting together a letter today. It will be being sent to the Board of County Commissioners of Montrose County, basically asking them to stay in their own lane. This is Montezuma County. The NCA does not affect them in their county at this point in time, and that will be sent specifically to the Montrose County Commissioners, specifically because of one individual on their board. Let's see, I did talk to Congressman Hurd Friday specifically on the NCA, just getting more information. More information is being sent to him. And again, I've said this before, we talk to our congressional state people all the time. because if you're not at the table, you are on the menu. And that's why we are so active with all. One thing that I thought was great, I did get to read an article, had a lot of conversation with a Commissioner Pogue in Summit County. Their sheriff has sued those commissioners twice. And again, the latest one, I hope everybody pulls it up and fact checks it. But that sheriff, again, was put into his place. The commissioners control the budgets, not the sheriffs, and they cannot break a county as they all choose to want to do in the state of Colorado. So I would ask you to do some research and look at that Summit County suit where it was dismissed against the commissioners. And I better stop there. So
Motion to
y'all
adjourn.
have a Merry Christmas.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn this December 23rd, 2025 meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.